One, check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield, Ryan Beckman, and Chris Goss.
Chris Goss, man.
Yeah,
Jeez,
right. That's two in a row with the real
so
name, and it's
different.
so good now. It makes me feel like a new man.
Because I thought your name was Chris Ghost.
Yeah, for the first however long he didn't change it. That he didn't want to change it. We forced him to change it.
See,
Change.
he had
Tyrone, change.
had a good day and decided he was going to do it for you. So
Well, he helped us out. He helped us out in more ways than he thought.
Ryan Beckman's not here though.
Too bad.
I'm not sure where Ryan is. He's off doing whatever Ryan does. But instead of Ryan, we have a very special guest.
Very special guest.
Courtney Quick. Courtney, welcome.
Courtney.
Well, thank you, guys.
Courtney is from Skywood Recovery, and that is a treatment center in Augusta, Michigan, which is just, north of Kalamazoo?
Just outside of Kalamazoo.
Right
Okay.
down the road from Battle
Down by
Creek.
Battle Creek, yep.
But you are meeting with us today in Boyne City. How is that working?
So my role in Skywood is called the Business Development Representative and I work the Northern Michigan Territory. So my territory is from Saginaw all the way up to the UP, into Wisconsin, and then all the way across Michigan. So I have a huge territory that I work.
Okay, and I actually was texting you the other day because somebody had reached out and they're like, hey, I need to go to treatment. I don't want to go back to this place up in Boyne Falls I've been to 4 times. Like, what else? I'm like, well, I don't know if they can get you in, but here's somebody. And I don't know, and we probably can't talk about what happened with her, but is that something that I should do? Or, I mean, do you
Yep,
want
absolutely.
people reaching out
So
to you?
if you are at the point in your life where you want information, you have a spouse, you have a loved one, you have a friend, you're looking for information in regards to a treatment facility, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Corey, I'm sure, is going to put some information up. You can always reach out to Corey or any of the other guys, and they can give you my cell phone number. We also have a website, skywoodrecovery.com. There's also a Facebook page that you can look us up on. There's a lot of resources out on the web to be able to get information in regards to Skywood. So Skywood generally we are a treatment facility that focuses on the co-occurring parts of mental health. So not only are we going to focus on your addiction, but we're also going to focus on the mental health aspect behind it. So what is causing your addiction? Is there anxiety? Is there depression? Is there trauma? Is there PTSD? We are able to detox our patients as well. So we have medical detox. So we are able to do the Suboxone and the Vivitrol. We have medical staff on site. So we will keep the detoxes on campus and be able to help them as they're going through detox. And then once they're out of detox, then we'll move them into a residential program. We also offer a partial hospitalization program. We do stabilization, and we also have an IOP located in the Detroit area. So there's a lot of options within Michigan in regards to Skywood. And then also outside of Michigan, we have a couple other treatment facilities. We have Michael's House in California. We have Black Bear in Georgia. We have Talbot. So there's a lot of different options if for some reason Skywood doesn't, meet your cup of tea.
Okay, because when I was looking for rehab for the first time, I was living in Arkansas. I worked for iHeartMedia, so I couldn't go anywhere in Arkansas, in my opinion, because people know who I am.
Absolutely.
So then I drove all the way home and actually couldn't even make it. My mom and cousin had to come get me from Chicago because I couldn't drive anymore. I had a panic attack. I was withdrawing. It was not good.
It's horrible.
And so when I got there, it was like, okay, let's start calling around. So then first I called my insurance. And they were like, yeah, that's good to go. I started, first of all, and then I Googled places, which don't ever do that. Don't ever Google rehab. All you're going to get is third-party advertising people that are going to charge the rehab where they put you money. So don't ever do that. You can go to skywoodrecovery.com. Go to our website. We're going to have more resources up there for people seeking treatment. But then I finally start messing with all the stuff. I get to a couple places, like actual places, and they were like, wow, your insurance is really good. Well, I'm like, well, what about my job? So I would suggest call your insurance. Say, here's what I'm looking to do. Don't and I can't tell you really how to feel. I'm going to say don't feel embarrassed, because you're going to feel embarrassed.
Yeah, you're going to feel
feel like, oh, everybody's judging me. But look at it like you're doing yourself some good. Call your insurance company and say, look, I have a problem. I have a substance use disorder. You don't have to say, I'm an alcoholic. I beat my wife. I drunk drove. No, just say, I got a substance use disorder. You don't even have to say what it is.
Right.
And say that you are seeking treatment. You would not like to lose your job. They will give you the, what's that form?
What's that?
FMLA.
Yeah,
They'll give you the FMLA form.
Oh yes, FMLA.
And they'll work with you. And so don't think, well, I can't go to treatment, I'll lose my job. Because trust me, you keep using, you keep drinking, you're going to lose your job anyway. Right. And you're going to lose your family, and you're going to lose your house. And that's maybe what it takes. For some people, that's what it does take. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you can step out in front of it, and you might be thinking too, or someone in your family, well, I don't know if I really have a problem that bad, because they'll say that. I said that. Well, I have a job. I never got fired. I got all my stuff. I had a house, a car, whatever. But it gets to where it gets, and that's why they call it a progressive disease, because it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Spins out of control. Mm-hmm. Right down the penny, right down that tornado thing that I used to use at the Air Zoo in Kalamazoo, take with my kids. Oh crap!
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
That's exactly what happens, and it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to feel embarrassed. So if you want to go, I would suggest to call your insurance company. Say, look, Skywood Recovery is where I would like to look into. Give them a call. They'll kind of tell you what to expect as well. Get your work squared away. And if you're thinking, well, Corey, I'm using this morning or this afternoon, how do I do all this? That's where, Courtney can come into play. Send Chris an email. He can help you. Chris at 217recovery.com. He'll get you in touch with somebody. There's people out there that are willing to help you, and it's not something you have to do completely on your own, because it is overwhelming to do.
And a lot of times when I get phone calls, they're not always from people that are actually the ones seeking treatment. A lot of times it comes from family members or from friends, and they're just looking for direction. Mm-hmm. And even if I can't help facilitate treatment at Skywood or at one of our facilities, I can at least help you, get you resources. A lot of times it's just making that phone call to people that are connected into the community to point you in the right direction. It's scary. It's overwhelming. Personally, I've been in the shoes of being a loved one, and, you're just looking for somebody to help show you the path.
Right. If you make that phone call, I always say that the phone's 1,000 pounds. You can't pick it up. You don't want to do it. But if you pick up that phone to try and help yourself, trying to save your life, trying to help save a family member's life, it's like she said, if they can't help you to get you to their facility, they can at least give you the avenues, point you in the direction to get you where you can get set better to be put in the position to help yourself. I was checking this pamphlet out, and I'm looking at it, and I didn't know there was anything like this right down the road from my house.
So Skywood is an old golf course. It sits on 300 acres that we've turned into a rehab facility. We are male and female. So even though that males and females live separately, you still intermingle. So you're still going to eat in the same dining hall at separate tables. You're going to go to separate group therapies. Boys, stop it.
No, Chris. It's not.
My therapist in Battle Creek told me one of these times, she's like, you need to go to an all women's, all male facility. I was like, absolutely not. It's just me though.
That's his past. He's trying to be new today. But
I think a majority of them downstate are co-ed, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and it's interesting because when the last place that I was in 4 times last year, they tried to do the separation thing, and a woman stood up and said, I get so much out of these guys. I learn from these guys. Mm-hmm. These guys help me with what I'm doing wrong. Because I always say, if what I can say can help, if just one snippet of what I say in my long speeches and spiels and things that I just wrap off, if they pick up one of it, catch it, hold on to it, don't squeeze it too tight, pop it away, then it's going to help them. And, you know who I'm talking about. She was a pretty cool person, but she said, I don't know why we're separated. So, you learn things from other people. It may be male, female, but you still can learn. And being around the people that are, it's just, some people say yay, some people say nay. I always say yay. I'm always trying to be around Yeah, I'm sorry.
But anyway, Courtney,
Yeah,
you don't have to explain anything, Chris.
I don't know anymore.
But you were talking about the facility and...
Yeah, so we also offer different recovery paths. So depending on what type of recovery you want is the type of recovery that we're going to give you. So there's AA, there's Smart Recovery. We also offer Wellbriety for the tribes. There's... What is it? Art therapy, adventure therapy. We open the doors on the weekends for the families to come down and visit. There's also equine therapy that we offer that's off-site. So Skywood works on a merit program, and the more merits that you get in the program, the more things that you're allowed to do.
Have you ever had people go through the program, to your knowledge, that were maybe a year clean? Just to go through it, just to see what it's like.
No, personally, I have not. I've recently spoke to a mother of somebody that was down there, and she said it was the best decision that she's ever made for him, and that she is thrilled to have been able to have Skywood and to help her child. So, it's rewarding after it's all said and done to know that you help facilitate that and get somebody clean and on the right path. Yeah. Not only for him, but for his mom.
And I think it's huge, too, because, the place up here, there's two places up here, and one I don't really know too much more, but you deal with them, Harbor Hall. But the other one, it's not co-occurring disorders. It's just... a lot of
the treatment facilities in Michigan are not credentialed to be co-occurring because they don't, have the psychiatrist or, whatever on site that they need to have in order to be that. So that's what really separates Skywood from a lot of the other treatment facilities in the state is that we can say, I think only actually 5% of the addiction treatment facilities in the U.S., 5% of them are co-occurring.
Yeah. So
it really distinguishes us.
It really does. And it's such a huge thing because, in my opinion, 100% of people with substance use disorder have depression.
There's something underlining it, right?
Especially when you stop using, because that's sometimes why we're using, to get our dopamine levels up, the serotonin. It's not made anymore. Once the drugs take on, it's like, okay, I'm not making anymore. So then, boom, you stop. Mm-hmm. And then your body's like, whoa, we got to replace this. So it shoots up your levels at first. That's why they call it the honeymoon phase. So you just feel great. You're waking up every morning. Wow, I'm not hungover. I'm not, not needing. And then all of a sudden, boom, you just hit this. And then people think, well, I'm depressed and, I'm going through depression. When really it's just natural. Of course you're going to go through that because you're not at that level that you used to be. So something like Zoloft or some kind of mood stabilizer can bring that up, and you don't have to be on Zoloft or some other things forever. There's some drugs where this one doctor told me, she's like, you got to take that for the rest of your life. I was like, well, then let's not do that one. And I used to be like, I heard a guy talk the other day, and he was like, man, I'm not going to be on no drugs. And I had the same kind of thinking. I was like, I'm not going to take drugs. Here I am drinking a half gallon a day. Mm-hmm. Don't give me no drugs. But once you realize that you need them, and there's videos you can watch, do some research on it. And, if you have a loved one, like I have a loved one, an aunt who's going through it right now, and I thought for sure at Christmas she would go in, and she didn't. She said, oh, don't they? They said I was fine. I'm like, no, they didn't. Yeah, right. That's a...
They never told me I was fine.
Yeah, no, they were going to keep. They're going to keep you there.
Leave. Oh yeah, my therapist, tried to make me stay. I left again and again and again. We know that story.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I just hope the best for her, but we all have to get there our own way. And my mom had to call for me. Yeah. She was calling around, and I even called my insurance company one time when I was on Medicaid. I called them and said, hey, I've been up. I've been using drugs. Can you please call the place for me? I don't know. It's something about making that call.
Well, and in northern Michigan, there's the NMRE, and that's a great resource for anybody that's on Medicaid and needing help. That's a great starting point too. Mm-hmm. For somebody in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NMRE, they do great things, and I know Sarah and Sandy over there, and we're going to be working with them as far as 2020. We're pretty excited about that.
I don't want to say what else is going to happen then.
Say much, but it's
2020.
It's going to be awesome.
Like to mix church and state.
I don't want to give it away though.
We don't like to blow the surprise.
How can I say it without saying it?
Then don't.
Courtney looks scared now. She's like, "Oh, what did I do?" She's like, what's going
I'm just
on?
waiting to see. I mean, is it going to come out? Is it not going to come out?